Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thanks so much for watching today. I wanted to do a get ready with me, let you know how things are going, let me know what's going on for you late August, early September. I know, I can't believe September is almost here, but I did get something new I wanted to try today, so we'll get into that. Thanks for watching and thanks for being subscribed. I'm going to start with the one thing that has kind of surprisingly taken like top placement, which is my Beauty Pie Super Luminous Under Eye Genius. This is the light medium shade. I already have like a little divot going on here. I like this product a lot. I wasn't sure I was going to, and I really, really do. I feel like it's a really great color for me. I did also happen to pick up the one in medium deep because I wasn't sure which shade would suit me best. And the reason is my favorite corrector is the one, well, has been, maybe I have a new favorite, the one from Charlotte Tilbury. And this one is definitely more peach and this one is definitely more pink. They both work really well, but I feel like I can wear this one and only this on days when I want to look less tired, more awake, and no other makeup other than like a sheer lipstick or a gloss. And I don't see it. This is one, even though this is in the lightest shade, I could still see like a little remnant of peach when I was in direct sunlight. If I was just in normal indoor lighting, it wasn't that big a deal. But I do really like this product. This is mid to high 20s. This is what, $8 or $9? If you're a Beauty Pie member. So there you go. Today that I'm recording is Monday, and I just dropped my kids off for their first day of school. Oh, I've got an 8th grader and a 6th grader, and I can't believe my kids are so grown. Like, where did the time go? What happened? And I feel like my sense of time has really gotten off over the last couple of, I would say the last year and a half. I just haven't really kept track of time well at all because it all kind of just runs together. But I'm realizing I've got an 11 and a 13-year-old, and I'm like, excuse me, what happened? You're both in middle school? Where'd the time go? And I still, in my mind's eye, see them as like little teeny tiny like toddlers, and they're not. I'm going to be wearing the Double Wear Sheer Wear Foundation today from Estee Lauder. This is a really lightweight, slightly perfecting foundation, which I really like. It's very fluid, as you can see, but I like that it ends up giving me a little bit of coverage without being too much. I like that this foundation is really lightweight and it looks like my skin. I like that a lot. The new thing that I wanted to try today is this. This is the new concealer from Lancome. This is the Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. It's supposed to be lightweight. It's supposed to be non-creasing. That's what I'm super curious about. It's supposed to be good for all skin types, acne prone, mature, sensitive, like everybody who has a concern. It's supposed to do good at dialing down redness and covering imperfections. And it's not supposed to be too heavy. I feel like that's kind of a lot of claims. And I wanted to try this today with my under eye corrector, which is what I always put down, just to see how it works with that formula. But this is interesting. I did get the shade 090N, which is the lightest shade there is. It's a neutral light shade. I used to wear shade 90 many moons ago, and I decided that since I wear shade 100 now, they usually recommend that you go one shade lighter in concealer than you wear in foundation. So this is the one I'm going to be wearing. It has kind of an interesting doe foot. It has a little slant angle to it. It felt like it was kind of hard to get it pulled out, but I feel like there's a real decent amount here. Not too much, but we'll see. I don't want to put on too much. I feel sometimes I do that. You know, and before I go too far here, I'm going to put on one side and then we'll reevaluate to see because if I put it on both sides and it dries down quickly and it doesn't budge, that would be bad. All right, I'm going to start first by kind of distributing it. The one thing I try not to do is to make sure I want coverage, but I don't want so much product there that it has no place but the creases to go. So I feel like, you know, starting out with a smaller amount and then lightly blending is better than, you know, doing the whole giant under eye triangle, which to me I feel like, especially as I age, is just way more product than I need in that area. I also feel like it's the right shade. Oh, hooray. I don't always pick the right shade based on online photos, but I feel like my percentage is getting better and better. It's been a while since I've had to exchange a shade for something else. I think the last time I did that was with the Fenty Skin Tint. I feel like this looks good. I feel like I maybe want just a little bit more right here. You know what's terrible? I now have splatters of concealer on my tabletop and on my white blouse. This little chunky doe foot comes out, and as it does that, there is a little bit of splatter, so beware. And I don't know if it's just mine or if that's a packaging problem with all of them. So I mentioned in my what I'm taking with me packing trip that we were going to a friend's vacation home, and we had an amazing time. I saw friends I hadn't seen in 2 years because the last time I saw them, you know, we didn't know it was going to be the last time for a while. And they live out of town, so we only see them, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And then we just hadn't been getting together. And the one thing I'll tell you that was good is that we had started doing a weekly Zoom. And every Thursday night, my girlfriends and I get together over Zoom. And that just started in April of 2020 because I was like, I don't want to not see my friends, even though we can't get together. And still a year and a half later, even though 3 of us live in the same town, and it probably would be safe for all of us to get together. I don't know. Things are changing quickly. So we had such a good time. All of our families committed to quarantining for a week beforehand. And we spent time at our friend's lake property. And there was 4 families, there were 16 people. It's a lot. I feel like my under eyes are doing good, but I need to dial down some of the redness around my nose. And I've got a little bit of hyperpigmentation going on the tops of my cheeks. I might see if I can use a slightly, we'll see how this does. Anyway, so when we get together, we've done it for years, is that everybody takes a meal, a breakfast and a dinner, and we all make sandwiches for lunch so that not everybody is like doing all the cooking. But you're cooking for 16 people. And thankfully the house is large enough. Every couple has their own bedroom, bathroom, and the kids have a huge downstairs space areas where there's like an open basement and a bunch of bunk beds thrown in there. So it's fun. The kids take their sleeping bags, they sleep on the bunks, they sleep on the futons, and my kids had the best time, and it's the first time they had gotten together with friends in forever. They loved it, absolutely loved it. I loved it too, because I got to, hang out with my friends, and every morning, it was like having coffee with my girlfriends, and we played board games, and we went to the lake, and we spent time at the park with the kids and went on hikes. And do you know how, I don't know if you have realized this, but I do all the cooking in my house. My husband does cook, my kids do cook, but 95 to 99% of the time, it's your girl here making dinner or making whatever meal we're eating. And I always tell my kids that food tastes so much better when somebody else makes it. And out of we were there for 5 days. I only cooked one of those days, and the last day we kind of ate leftovers, and it was no big deal because there was so much food packed in that fridge. But it was absolutely incredible because I ate some of the best food I've had in a long time, and I got to hang out with my friends, and my kids were running around and happy, and they were indoors and outdoors. It was just fantastic. Loved it so much. I really like the way this is going on. I'm gonna throw some on over here on this. I thought I put a little bit on there, but not as much as I feel like I need. But let's see if we can make this little guy here disappear. So now that school has started again, my schedule is gonna be a little bit more regular. The summer schedule, I wanna go to the library, I wanna go to the park, it's time to go to swim. It was kind of like here, there, and everywhere, and all I was a taxi picking up my daughter from strawberry picking or taking my other one to the library, and all of those things. I just finally was like, can't wait for school to start. So then you drop the kids off in the morning, You pick them up in the afternoon and then you do whatever you need to do. But it also gives me time in the middle of the day to run to the grocery store or to, you know, do the things that I need to do. I do have to be careful now because my husband is working from home and I can't make too much noise. His office is like right smack dab in the middle of the house. There's a room that's supposed to be the dining room, but it has French double doors to it. So he closes the doors, that's his office. And that had been kind of like our family office before and our catch-all room. But now we cleaned everything out and it's his office now, so I can't go in there during the day and I don't want to be like vacuuming right outside the door. But I definitely feel like I have a little bit more of a, okay, my own personal schedule as opposed to my, you know, taking my children here, there, and everywhere. I've been keeping this guy out. I put it in, initially pulled it out, and that's when I noticed it was getting kind of like concealer splatter, but I haven't put it back in because I hadn't wanted to deal with the splatter. And then I realized there's still enough product on there that I don't feel like I need to go in and get more. I feel like there is sufficient product on there that you can probably just keep, you know, picking up that doe foot and putting a little bit here, a little bit there, blending it in. I like the level of coverage I have. I feel like this foundation doesn't make my skin look like I'm wearing foundation, and I feel like this concealer is giving me coverage where I need it without looking heavy. There are some concealers I've tried in the past where I feel like, although the coverage was fantastic, it would be one of those things where you couldn't just put concealer here. You had to blend really, 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 really well, or you had to kind of put it everywhere. And I feel like this has potential to be great for just swiping it on where you need it and blending it in and it fading easily without having to spend too much time blending onto the rest, you know, so that you can see, you can't see that line of where you have concealer and where you don't. I feel like that would be good because I would definitely want to, you know, build it up over this spot, build it up over like redness around my nose, my under eyes. I have some scars on my chin from acne, and I feel like this does a good job, and I don't really wear foundation every day. I'm gonna throw a little powder on, but I'm just gonna take another quick look at it. It's been a few minutes since I was done kind of applying the under eye. I don't really see it creasing, but I'm still gonna set this. Why would I not? I'm just gonna grab a little bit of an under eye powder here and plop a little bit of this here. I'm excited to hear how my kids' first day of school went. My oldest is always dealing with a little bit of social anxiety. She's a super awesome kid, makes friends. I wouldn't say easily. That's because she's shy. I think that if she were a little bit more outgoing naturally, she wouldn't struggle, but she's always worried about what other people think. And I remember being exactly like that at that age. Exactly. And so I just told her, I said, look, the best thing to do is just to be friendly to everybody. Don't just be friendly to your friends, you know, be kind to everybody. You don't have to say their names like, hi, Sarah, hi, John, hi, you know, Ruben. You don't have to say all their names. You just have to go through, go, hey, good morning, how are you? Did you have a good summer? Just like greet everybody. And she says she was gonna try it. And then I didn't know this. I didn't get her to school early enough today because school starts at 8. And you were there at 7:50, plenty of time. She's like, Mom, I needed to be here early to pick a locker and I want a bigger locker and I don't want a locker on the bottom. And I was like, use your words. I would have had you here at 7:30 had you told me. Anyway, so she was a little bit stressed this morning. So I don't know that her whole, hey, Sarah, hey, John, hi, Ruben, how are you? I don't think that's going to be happening today. But I'm excited to hear. I'm going to be using the Kosas Cloud Set for the rest of my face. I feel like that looks good. I don't feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. I have really been enjoying this bronzing and contour duo from Wayne Goss. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't pick it up like right when it came out this spring. I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I have too much bronzer. And I was concerned because I felt like the color of the bronzer in the pan looked a little too orange. And it's a beautiful shade for my skin tone. This is the light one. So we took our dog with us to the lake house. She did nothing but sleep the entire time and chase grasshoppers through the lawn and trying to catch them. My friends, their house is kind of really out in nature, and because they want to protect the wildlife, when they take their dogs, they make sure their dogs are always on a leash when they're outdoors. And that's kind of hard for my dog. She's 16 years old. She's never had to use the restroom while on a lead. She learned pretty quick though, because she's like, I could tell she's like pacing, like, oh, so you need to go out. And the first couple times I took her on a lead, she was not happy. But when I took her down to where, you know, the house is kind of built up on a hill, and the basement, you kind of walk out onto a little grassy area. So I walked out the front door and went down the side, and she was going through this little grassy area, and she discovered that there was a bunch of grasshoppers there. She was chasing those grasshoppers like she was a puppy. She had the best time. Of course, they're faster than her, and there are a few bugs in my backyard, but there aren't like these giant grasshoppers that are just like, you know, leaping 2 and 3 feet in the air trying to get away from her. She thought it was the best thing. I hadn't seen her be that excited, and she's 16, she's an old girl, but be that excited and like kind of running around. And I got one of those really long leads for her, so she had 16 feet to run around. Normally she's on a 6 or 8 foot leash. She's close, but she just thought it was the best thing ever. I'm just gonna grab the Coffee Talk palette from Sydney Grace, and I'm going to use this neutral shade right here. This is Frappe. It's really going to be like the easiest thing ever because I don't want to do too much. Just a little sun crease. It's really hard for me not to put a shimmer on the lid. I can't do it, apparently. I'm just going to do a real light wash of the shade called Ristretto. I have not been able to successfully pull out a Sydney Grace palette and use just the matte because I love the shimmers from that brand so much. They're just so good. I just got mascara all over. Yep. You might already know this, but if you get mascara where you don't need it, if it's just traditional mascara, let it completely dry. Grab a Q-tip or a clean spoolie, and you can either scrape it off with this, or you can just gently rub it. If I were to do it now while it was wet, I would have a black smear, but if I just leave it alone, I can just kind of scrape that layer off. I do have a lot like right along my lash line here on both sides, and this giant little blob down here. So between now and then, let's put on a lip. I want a bright red lip today. I don't know how this is going to wear inside a mask, but we're going to find out. I'm going to use the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon, and I have the shade Own Your Empire. This is one that I saw Emily Noel mention. She loved this bright red, and I was like, I love red. And she says it's really great, and it doesn't really go anywhere. And it is really great, and it doesn't really go anywhere. And for that, I like it. I felt like I needed just a little bit of blush. And I don't want to put any highlight on today, so I'm going to use a glowy blush instead. I'm going to use the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow. This is the shade Magic Hour. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of it, just a little bit, and kind of put it on here and blend it in. Oh, that's what I needed. So I'm excited to try this more. I feel like initial application is only initial application, but I like that it didn't start like settling into all of my crinkles. And at almost 47, I have several, but I feel like it does a really good job. And I like that it's lightweight enough that it doesn't look like, boom, I've got a spot of concealer here, I've got concealer here, I've got concealer here. I feel like it blends really nicely with minimal effort, which is what I'm always looking for. More coverage, less effort to blend it in with. But I'll have to get back to you on this. Let me know if you've tried this. Let me know what you've been up to. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon.